Okay, I now put the question in the order in which the motions were moved. Is the motion proposing Senator Joe O'Reilly agreed to? Agreed. I think the question is carried. Agreed. Leas-Cathaoirleach, could I ask you to address the House?
Thank you. A Cathaoirleach agus a cólachí is cúis áthastam bheith tofa inniu mar Leas-Cathaoirleach. Tá is agam go dagan freagrach trom cúiseach leis an ór a chur sibh orm. Tá sé de gúlgas orm mó gúlgas a cólíno go cór is go hille. Bí cinse go ndéana mé mo fíorhíhil job den céad sco a dhéanamh. I brothí mé leat a Cathaoirleach agus leis an fearn riaracáin bailach có-ibrithe. Tá méid tanú le bheith ag obair go glú is go masúil le gath Seanad Éireann. Cathaoirleach and fellow senators, if I might say on a whimsical note, I was thinking as people were speaking there that so many people don't have this experience on this earth. They're hearing it from the other side. But it's nice to hear this, to have a pre-run of this while you're alive. So it gives me a flavour. I hope that some of this will transpire there. But anyway, Cathaoirleach and fellow senators, thank you for conferring this great honour on me here today. I am very appreciative of and moved by your overwhelming and generous and enthusiastic support. Can I thank my Fine Gael colleagues for selecting me to go forward? In doing so, I want to acknowledge the quality and ability of my two fellow candidates, then Sean, our honoured and regarded Chief Whip, and of course, Senator Lambert. Either of them would have been outstanding in the role, and I appreciate Sean's generous remarks, and I can assure him, as I did previously, that were the roles reversed, and they could readily have been, I would be proudly making the same speech. Sean is an absolute gentleman, as is Tim Lambert. Can I thank Regina and John, Senator Doherty I should say, and Senator McGahan for proposing and seconding me. I actually did not write their speeches, nor did they even consult. It's gratifying that they could say such nice things while not under duress. I suppose it might be a good juncture at that point to remember my council colleagues around the country who selected or elected me to here, and in that regard to remember, as was so eloquently put in such a lovely speech by Dermot, my old mentor, Senator Andy O'Brien, whose daughter, I think, had a number of you, his daughter Madeleine had a number of you called up on the phone before our votes, etc. So in that regard, it's an appropriate time to do that. Can I thank the independent senators here, and I really appreciate that, for not opposing my nomination. I will do my very best to honour the trust, and I mean this by all of the collective independent senators who break into a couple of groups, to honour that trust and friendship arising from our years of working together. Can I pay a heartfelt tribute to Senator Fintan Warfield, who is a very highly regarded person by all of us, and there is an old saying that third time lucky. You've got to crack it the next time, Fintan, I'd say, and I hope that's a while. So I do wish you well. I want to acknowledge and support our colleagues in government from Fianna Fáil and Fianna Fáil and the Green Party for their support here today. And in that regard, I want to thank the contributors. I think just because I'm a little naturally moved by the occasion and a little unsteady as we all are in these kind of situations, I won't go through the individual speeches or the individual people who said the wonderful things, only to say that I really appreciate them, and I hope to get to say it to you individually. I'm just very, very moved by the things you said, and I suppose the only generous or proper response I can give to your wonderful and lovely remarks is that the only way, rather than thanking you individually in a long, rambling speech, the best way to honour it is by giving an all-round, all-day, everyday commitment to doing the job well. And I think that's the way I'll try to honour the lovely remarks from all of you. And I do appreciate them, but I will get to speak individually with people, and I'm just overwhelmed by it. And it's almost like a pageant or something that you had arranged. I didn't arrange any of it, so thank you very much. It's so deeply appreciated. And I'm not going to go through names in case I make a mistake there. At this juncture, I want to acknowledge my wife Mary and sons Alexis, Owen and Dara, who are watching this remotely out in the house of a friend of mine, Luke Smith, who's a friend of Dermot's also, out in Effra Road at the moment. And they're remotely watching it because they're observing house protocols, and we'll try to celebrate in the evening. But we did get professional or advice from the administration here not to be here, and they appreciate that good advice and observe it. I want to thank them for their years of love, support and affirmation, and I suppose we all thrive on affirmation. I want to acknowledge and thank Mary Cogan, who's a cousin of Senator Sharon Cogan, and who fronts my Cavan office, and Mary O'Connor, who's very well known to the members of this House, who fronts my office here in Leinster House. They are both loyal and efficient and committed. They are both loyal and efficient and committed to public service. I want to acknowledge the competent, fair chairing of Seanad proceedings by my immediate predecessors, Senator Jerry Buttimer and Senator Paul Coughlin. Chair, I look forward to working closely with you, and I know that you share and have displayed already a commitment to fair play for all. I will try at all times to be fair and to ensure that the mandate of every senator in this House is properly respected. I assure you that I will be available to every member and only delighted to take your ideas on board. I know that you are all here because of a desire to provide public service and enhance the lives of others. There is no one in this chamber who is not motivated by high ideals, and it is mine and the Cathaoirleach's job, which you do admirably, to ensure that every senator gets access and opportunity for full and free and fair expression. Over the years, the Senate has been a catalyst for social change and new thinking. No one will begrudge a special mention of the father of the House, Senator David Norris, in this regard. We have initiated new legislation, scrutinised and amended legislation before us. I will, alongside Cathaoirleach Mark Daly, work to extend our possibilities, whether that's in the realm of select committees, invitations to guests, or our interaction with Northern Ireland and Europe. The arrangements regarding the Seanad and its establishment were not the subject of the Anglo-Irish Treaty, and so it is a matter for the Oireachtas. And the government of the day, it was a matter for the Oireachtas and the government of the day to set the provisions subject only to the referendum required. In September 1922, after the death of Arthur Griffith and Michael Collins, the then President of the Executive, W.T. Cosgrave, set out those provisions to the Dáil and outlined the government's commitment to the creation of an upper chamber and the limits that would exist to that chamber. Obviously, the Seanad created in 1922 was overtaken in 1937 with the enactment of the new Oireachtas Éireann and its adoption by referendum. I thought that today, when looking back at previous Seanads and at the foundation of the Seanad on two occasions, if you like, that it would be appropriate to quote the words of Thomas Westropp Bennett, the last chairman of the 1922 Seanad, or Senate then, who said in Leinster House on the 19th of May 1936, of the old Senate, he said of the old Senate, we have finished our labours and nothing remains to be done but to ring down the curtain. I think we may congratulate ourselves on having done the state some service. We emerge in light conscious that we did our duty and conscious that in every act we tried to build and strengthen this infant state. I am sure that all of us here today and those who are in their offices would like to say something similar of our work in this House during this session when it ends. And it's my job in cooperation and working alongside our Cathaoirleach, Senator Daly, to ensure that that is our epitaph, and that's what we'll have to say. The original manifestation of the Seanad member, the original, age of the Seanad members had to be at least 35 years. I say that conscious that we now have many young members who are particular friends of mine and who had particularly gracious things to say about me earlier. And I would say that I would say it also in recognition of the fact that it is tremendously important that we have young members of the extraordinary calibre displayed earlier, and that is more representative of the population as a whole. And I think our young members are our greatest jewels. Although the office of the Leas-Cathaoirleach isn't referred to in Article 18 and 19 of the Constitution, Articles 18 and 19 of the Constitution, which deals with the Seanad, Article 14 sets out the provisions related to the Presidential Commission. I am aware that some of my predecessors as Leas-Cathaoirleach have been called upon with the Ceann Comhairle and the Chief Justice in this regard. In conclusion, may I say that this is a special day for me. Growing up on a small farm in Cavan, I would not have thought that one day I would become a Leas-Cathaoirleach of Seanad Éireann. I mention that not only to undermine or to underline my gratitude, but also to say to young people that in this great republic, you can be anything you want to be. All of us here in this chamber will work every day to remove any remaining obstacles to that. Thank you.